Yeah, hello. It's another Tuesday morning, second Tuesday in December. Welcome to another edition of Time with the Prophets. This morning we'll look at Jeremiah 12, verse 5. The theme is how can you contend with forces? There was a question God asked Jeremiah. But before that, let's enjoy Jane Johnson. With the goodness of God. Good morning. Thanks for joining me.
And all my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire and the darkest night. You were close like no other. I know you as a father. I know you as a friend. And I have lived in the goodness of God. Yeah. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. 'Cause all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. In my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. In my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after me. All my life you have been faithful. 'Cause all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. I'm gonna sing. It's all my life you have been faithful. It's all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God.
Yes, that's Jane Johnson. Jane Johnson with the goodness of God from her Victory album. Good morning. Thanks for joining me. This morning on time the prophets, we want to look at a question God asked Jeremiah, specifically in Jeremiah 12:5, that how can you contend with horses? God asked Jeremiah, how can you contend with horses? 2023 has been a year where most of us, or the world generally, has contended with a lot of things. About a lot of wars, rumors of wars, conflicts, problems everywhere and there, financial crisis, economic crisis, and everything. And sometimes when a year is about to end like this, when we are seeking the face of God about next year, we tend to think that, oh, if this year was this bad, next year is going to be better globally. So sometimes when you see the face of God, and the impression God gives you in your spirit is that things may get worse next year before they get better, you become a bit concerned. It was a similar situation that Jeremiah faced. Jeremiah got called in. Jeremiah's father was a priest. He was one of the priests of Israel, offering sacrifices on behalf of the people for atonement, for forgiveness, and all those things. And he was a favorite of the establishment. Jeremiah's father was a favorite of the political establishment at the time. Because at this time in Judah, the people were committing a lot of sins, especially with their leaders. But because the priests would all still go and offer sacrifices to them according to the laws of Moses and everything, they felt that all what I need is to have some money to buy a ram, to buy a lamb, and to get the sacrifices done. Then I go back and do my own evil things. And I come back and offer the sacrifices. They had turned God's system of forgiveness and mercy into sin, something we will be doing repeatedly. And it's very similar to what is done these days in the church, in the body of Christ. Many people have made up their mind that whatever happens when they go to church, they will say, let's confess our sins and let's God forgive us. So the Spirit of God is prompting us, or is prompting you, is prompting us that what you are going to do is wrong, don't do it. But you say, oh, but is God not a God of grace and mercy? He's going to show grace and mercy, so let me go and do it and get some quote-unquote benefit from it. And there's no benefit in sin. All those things, material things you get out of sin, it will end up disturbing you. But let me go and do it and get those benefits. And immediately I get those benefits. When I come to church, I'll come and confess. So these days you have young ladies, for example, they know that this man is married. And the man, they are still going out with the man is buying them. They don't care. They'll tell you that, oh, and then some of the money they'll get from those relationships, illicit relationships, they'll go and give tithes and offering in church. They'll go and see someone they believe to be a man of God or a prophet to pray for them and to intercede, to fast, to do all those things for them. You think that God is interested in those things? You think it is your money God is interested in? What God is interested in is you and I, our souls. And by our souls, I mean we dedicating our lives to serve Him and to obey Him. That is what is most important to Him. If your money comes as part of that service to God, that is fine. Even that is not going to force you. But if you are putting your money on the altar for God and you are going around misbehaving, God is not interested in that money. You think God needs your money or your food or something? No. And unfortunately, a lot of ministers of the gospel even support this narrative. When you are telling people that, oh, when you are walking with God, grow and stop living in sin, those ministers come and tell the people that you are preaching law, you are not preaching grace, you are not preaching mercy, that they are the people who love them. You love human beings more than God loves them. When God says that let those who name the name of Christ depart from iniquity, it's because God does not love mercy and grace. How many times did Jesus Christ in the Bible tell people He saw sinning and who were suffering for the sin, and when He healed them, told them, go and sin no more, and added that at least the worst thing comes to you? Because He knows that sin has consequences. Jesus Christ Himself told people that go and sin no more. The one and I told the person, at least the worst thing comes to you. But you have ministers today, they are ministers of Satan, not ministers of Christ, of course. They make it appear as if go and misbehave and come. God will forgive you, God will forgive you, God will forgive you. So continue doing it. You are a pastor, you know that this lady in your church is going to have someone who is married. You won't call her and tell her that, look, stop this. Or do something. You say, oh, I don't want to talk. Because what? You come and give you offering, pay tithe in church. Now, so such evil and things as what was going on in Israel at the time. They were committing idolatry, worshipping all kinds of idols and everything. And when God, especially their leaders, so when God raised Jeremiah to become a prophet, Jeremiah started having a lot of problems. One of the major problems he had was with his own family. Why did he have a problem with his family? His family, like I said from the beginning, was a family of priests from Anatot. And so Jeremiah's father was actually grooming Jeremiah to become a priest in his stead. And like I said, Jeremiah's father had the blessings of the establishment at the time, the elite, but he was offering sacrifices on their behalf in the temple. That time the temple was not destroyed. So when Jeremiah became a prophet, God told him that from your mother's womb, I chose you to be a prophet, to speak out against the evil going on. That is your divine destiny. Your divine destiny is not to be a priest. There is nothing wrong in being a priest, but that is not the destiny I'm giving you. You know, a lot of times, families, they have agenda for you. It may not be evil, they may be well-intentioned, but if it's not God's agenda for you, you have to be able to reject it. Your family may decide that this is what we want for you, this is what we want for you, this is what we want for you. And that may be at variance with your destiny in terms of career, it doesn't even who you marry or whatever, or where you live or something. Your family may want you to come and live in America, but that is not God's intention for you. You have to be able to reject those things. So Jeremiah's family, they wanted him to become a priest, obviously. But God said in the book of Jeremiah 1 that he, in his mother's womb, he ordained him as a prophet. And so that was the battle Jeremiah faced. And Jeremiah started getting persecution because you see, when he started prophesying against the evil in the land, the evil of the rulers and things, they started attacking him. So they first went to warn his father, warn his family that he call your son to order. Other than that, we are going to deal with him and deal with all of you people. They called Jeremiah, they tried to speak to him. Jeremiah said, look, I understand where you people are coming from. You people are uncomfortable with these new things I'm doing, but it is not myself who is doing it. It is God who appears to me and tells me to say it. Otherwise, if Jeremiah was not tenacious enough, we will not have this book of Jeremiah. This is an eternal work God has asked me to do. So I have to be faithful to it. And the enemies, the leaders, and they used Jeremiah's family a lot against him, to the extent that they sent people after him. In fact, you will read it very soon. You see that his family was even used to try to destroy him, and Jeremiah had to flee from his family and flee away to the wilderness because his family thought, we can't take it anymore. We are in this society, and only us, we are being attacked by everybody. There's pressure on us. There's a threat to destroy us because Jeremiah, our son, says he's a prophet and he's prophesying against the wickedness and everything. They several times came to me and told a young man, calm down, relax, shut up, keep quiet, like what they do today. Something is wrong and people have to speak, they will not speak up. God lays it upon how to speak. Then you are speaking and those people start conspiring against you. And so when Jeremiah was facing all these things, he was overwhelmed. He thought that, God, you've called me to be a prophet. Okay, I've agreed. Why then? My own family are against me, and why all these things happen against me? Persecution and all these things. And then God told him that, look, the persecution is just beginning. So if you is this early stage you are complaining, how will you fare when it gets worse? That's the thing. That's why God asked him, how will you contend with forces? Because God saw his family as a small problem for him to deal with, so that even if that family has that work dealing with his family already is overwhelming him, how will he be able to manage when people who are not his family now, God, at least your family, when they are even dealing with you, because you are their blood, they are very careful. At least they want you alive, generally. So they are very careful the extent to which they will go. What about people who care, foreign nations which are coming against you, and people who do not relate to you in terms of family? So that is what God told Jeremiah. So what he said was that, Jeremiah, you are weary, I need to renew your strength. But my theme here this morning is to let us know, why am I saying all this? Like I said from the beginning, 2023 has been a challenging year on many fronts, generally for the world, for personally, for people, and a lot of things. Now, if that year has worried us, what about 2024 with what God is revealing is going to happen in terms of financial crisis and everything? So we need God more. You see, when God told Jeremiah this, Jeremiah then realized that, hey, let me put this in perspective. If I'm complaining today with these small things, then what is being said to come tomorrow, I need to draw closer to God. The point this morning is that we need to draw more closer to God and get more strength, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, power, riches, resources, and everything from God. Because next year, on the whole, it's going to be more challenging than 2023. Yes, getting to the end, things will get better. I'm talking about generally. But it is only those who know their God who will be strong. It is only those who are working in alignment with God who will be able to escape and thrive. Because if this year was a footman year, next year is going to be a horseman year. Whether you believe it or not is not a problem. When it starts happening, when it's happening, you are going to see it. These days, you hear people when you are saying things, they think that by positive speaking alone, they can change things around. No, that's not things God says is going to happen. It's like you telling me what's written in the book of Revelation, you can pray to God for God to change it. No, that what those things written are sealed. So the best you can do is to pray so that you will not be found naked. You'll be in the right place at the right time. That you'll be on the right path of history. Not to try to change history. Because what is written in the book of Revelation is history which is being written in time. What you have to pray is for God to help you and your loved ones, people connected to you, to be at the right side of history. Not to try to change it. You cannot change it. So I read Jeremiah 12 from verse 1. It says, let me read from, my emphasis on verse 5, but let me read from verse 1 for context. It says, righteous are you, O Lord, when I plead with you. Yet let me talk with you about your judgment. Why does the way of the wicked prosper? Why are those happy who deal so treacherously? You have planted them, yes, they have taken root. They grow, yes, they bear fruit. They are near in their mouth, but far from their mind. But you, O Lord, know me. You have seen me, and you have tested my heart towards you. Pull them out like sheep for the slaughter, and prepared them for the day of slaughter. How long will the land mourn, and the herbs of every field wither? The beasts and birds are consumed, for the wickedness of those who dwell there. Because they said, he will not see our final end. You get my point? These people, they were doing evil because they felt nothing was going to happen to them. So Jeremiah was lamenting that. That's why Jeremiah wrote the book of Lamentation. God, why is it that the wicked are prospering and nothing seems to be stopping them? They are doing evil, they don't care, and it seems like things are working for them. Then this was God's response to his cry, because he says he wanted to talk to God about his judgment. So what was questioning? He was questioning God's judgment. That why are you letting all these wicked people progress? And this is what God said. He said, if you have run with, and this is my emphasis for this morning, if you have run with footmen and they have wearied you, how can you contend with horses? If in a land of peace in which you trusted, they wearied you, how will you do in the floodplain of the Jordan? Jeremiah's reference to this was also a reference to the Babylonians and the other nations. He felt that even if we are sinning here, those nations are even more terrible than us, but I see them only making progress, conquering, and they are coming. So God told him that if you are running footmen, instead now in his land, all the challenges he was having, they are footmen challenges, and they are with him. How can he contend with horses? And if in a land of peace, in which you trusted, they weighed you, how then will you do in the floodplain of the Jordan? What was saying was that if on a plain ground you are running and you are tired, how can you run close to the sea, where it's more difficult to run? Especially telling Jeremiah that a lot more challenging things are coming, so he should rather trust in God and draw closer. He should rather renew himself. Then he went on to give him this word of knowledge. God gave Jeremiah this word of knowledge that, for even your brothers, the house of your father, even they have dealt treacherously with you. Yes, they have called a multitude after you. Do not believe them, even though they speak smooth words to you. So God told Jeremiah that don't go back. Your house people, they have conspired against you. They will say, oh Jeremiah, come back home. Don't worry. You can still be among us and be prophesying against what is happening in the land. But God told Jeremiah that you shouldn't listen to them, because the conspiracy they done against. What means that when he goes, they will either arrest him or kill him. Or what they will do is that when he goes home, they will tell the people that, look, Jeremiah, you are looking for is in. Come and do whatever I want to do with him, because we cannot allow for him, he alone, for his sake, for all our family to be destroyed. So God told Jeremiah that he shouldn't listen to his brothers, the house of his father, when they call him that will come and do this. You want to honor, you want to know. It's a trap. It's a trap. We should be very careful. May God cause us to escape all traps, especially from people we trust, from kith and kin, from people close by. May God cause us all to escape. Any of us who have fallen into any trap, may God deliver us from it. And may God give us the wisdom and the skill to know that we have to trust in God, not to trust in familiar people, friends, family, people you think you trust in. Let's trust in God because He is able to deliver. Amen. Thanks for joining me. Continue to have a great week. Catch you Thursday morning, God willing, for work with the epistles. Good morning. Thanks for joining me.